clothes. This is a test. It's only a test. Actually, see if this actually works today. Oh, my nose. Give me a moment. What a disaster. It's hot. Okay. I'm back. I got a mess going on today. There we go. What's up? This is just a test. Don't be afraid. It might not last too long. I should have fixed this before, right? I didn't really think this was gonna work. So, just been hanging. Now I really gotta wear my glasses. I got no tablet. Stuck reading. What's up? One day we have to try, I don't know if you have the Zoom call meetings up there, you know? Do you know anybody who does those up where you are? Yeah. I know, hey, I got like, what, 72 hours before I'm freezing to death? I didn't want to say where you are. Up there in the woods. You hillbillies got fucking Zoom call meeting up there. We should try that. I forgot about that. I don't know what made me think of it. We can fucking see each other and talk. And it's free, right? That don't cost nothing. Not that I remember. I tried it the one time. That's right. That's where I wish I was right now. God. This place turning into a hellhole. We thought it was crowded before. We had the Daytona 500. Lord have mercy. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Look, you're number one in the chat. Oh, it's fucking hot. Oh, this sucks. Wait, what does this stupid thing say? Hold on. What a piece of crap this thing is. Wait. No, it's like 85. I just went to go grab a bag of ice. Oh, that one. Okay. Oh, God. We're melting. We're going to go on Monday. It's going to be almost 90. We're going to go from 89 degrees during the day. And by, what is it, 11 o'clock, we're going to be at 32 degrees. That's not with the wind chill. We still got to add in wind chill factor. So I'm thinking we're going to go back to 28 degrees. Wait, let me show you. Everything is just dead. We've had no water, no nothing. Look at that. Just dead wilderness. Nothing. We have a couple of green trees hanging on. The trees are doing okay. It's just everything else. And you figure they were closer to the ground, but the roots are only probably that long. They're not getting any water, and the dog's peeing on it isn't working. It's our dry season. We can go like 2 months without a drop of rain. And then rainy season's coming where it rains 3 times a day, every day at the exact same time. In about 4 weeks, we're going to be flooded out. But the good thing is that it happens every day at the same time. Usually around 8 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Then again at 2 in the afternoon. And usually between 8 and 10 at night. So at least we can get our shit done in between, downpours. I walked in, I forgot about it when we first got here, and I went to Walmart in the afternoon. It was Richard's day off. I walked in flip-flops, sweating, went in the store. All of a sudden I hear on the roof at Walmart. I said, oh shit, it's raining. Oh well, at least it's hot out. I was in there about 45 minutes. By the time I walked out, I was this far in the water above my ankle. We get like an inch an hour. It's insane. We could get like 2 feet of water in a couple of hours. Oops, more people. This is a very busy parking lot. Everybody's coming to lunch. There's a Subway right in the parking lot. And I still can't figure out why when you're in a parking lot, everybody parks in the spot right next to yours. Yeah. Oh. What a mess. But at least this is working right today. A couple of other people's videos, they've been complaining they can't get their videos up, they can't get on, they couldn't do nothing. Texas, here in Florida. I was watching one of the news guys, podcast guys. I was reading in his live chat. Half his live chat couldn't even hear him. And then the audio, the picture was freezing. Now for 3 days when we're watching TV, the voice doesn't line up with the picture. Or the picture completely freezes, but the TV show still goes on. It's been madness around here. Elon's getting ready to fuel his rockets. This guy can't stop playing with his rockets. I think this is the one for the moon. They're gonna do a practice or getting it fueled, so it must be going off soon. Oh, we got another daytime shithead. Oh, that's why I don't do these during the day. I don't understand why so many little teenagers got nothing better to do. Shouldn't you be in school? Learning how to be a pervert? This will probably never go up again. Hey, Teresa, what's up? Damn. Well, we're going to be joining the rest of the country on Monday night. I'm trying. Yesterday was the first day I had to pour water on my head. It was hot, 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 hot. Ugh. But it's going to make Monday night extra special cold. Going from 90 to 32. That's too big a difference. Too big a difference. They didn't tell us none of that in 7th grade. All they did was say we were going to die to heat. Still waiting for that. Oh, God. How's everything by you guys? Things are getting uppity here. Hey, Patricia. We got little baby protesters. About one of the schools told the kids if they left during the day, they were getting suspended and it was staying on their permanent record forever. So they all waited till Saturday, and only, I think it was 9 of them out of the entire high school showed up. They look like the Brady Bunch out there. It's like nitwits. They didn't even realize how stupid they looked that no one showed up. Oh. Hey, McGee. Hey, Bridget, how's it going? I wanted to give this a test, see if it actually worked. If we catch people on their lunch break and say, hey, add a sticker. This thing keeps popping up crap telling me. Oh yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, of course. Free advertising. Yeah, right? Oh, it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. I was hoping it was gonna stay cooler a little while longer. But I'm gonna have to risk it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. If y'all don't know, when I got my when I got the radiator fixed in July, if you remember last July, they told me about the gasket. And I said, okay. So it's starting to fall apart. It's dripping, like one drip at a time. So I just bought, where the hell they go? 2 quarts of oil to leave in the car. I gotta check it every 2 days when I'm driving. And it's not dripping out, it's not hitting the floor, it's dripping right out of the gasket where these 2 parts get screwed together. And it's falling, there's like a well, part of the engine at the bottom has like a little scoop at the bottom, and it's just pooling up, which is, I would have known if it was actually hitting the ground. Both times I had the oil leak, it never hit the ground, it just kept hitting the engine. But the smoke was coming from the fact that I had like that much oil when he checked. So it went from one oil change to another. Not so bad, but the reason why I was smoking on and off was because, with driving in the oil. So the burning smoke has stopped. The smell is a lot better. So I gotta check the oil like every 2 days, every other day if I do a long kind of a drive. Long drive, I mean, it's like 5 miles. So I thought I'd be able to do it for the first week of April, but I forgot that my P.O. box is due in March. So there's no way for me to leave like over $300 out of my day. I won't be able to eat next month. So it's gonna take me 2 months. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because I have to pay the insurance and I have to pay the P.O. box this month. I have to, those are necessities. But damn. And then in between, I'm gonna see if I can find someone who's a little cheaper on the labor. But the problem is when you get cheap labor rates, that's a mom and pop shop in someone's driveway, and good luck with a warranty. So I don't know what the hell to do. And that's with my discount. $980. For $300 for the part, say $325 for that big piece of rubber. That's no bigger than my pinky thickness. Like, the rest is labor. I gotta take half the engine. It's gonna take supposed to be almost 5 hours. Normally they come in within the half an hour. So they promised me that they wouldn't charge me if they say they do 4 hours and they got like 20 minutes extra. They said they won't charge me for the extra over. They're gonna try. Problem is that the crazy ass tax. So $980 just to put a rubber gasket in. I want to scream. If there's any way to do it myself, I would, but taking half the engine apart and putting it back together. So anything to do with oil leaks and I need soon I'll probably need new spark plugs. Those are right on top. $425 for spark plugs? What the hell? How much are they a piece? He said we could do it all together, and I'm like, then why is it going to be like almost $450 for a couple spark plugs? Been a long time since I bought spark plugs. I want to know if they got little gold tips on them. What the hell? Everything's gone crazy expensive when it comes to the cars. And this is getting nuts. So I can do one thing at a time, which is gonna suck, having to go back in and pay another $400 just to change out the spark plugs. Or $600, I have no idea. I should have just ordered the tires this month. I missed the sale. I was afraid to order them in case something went wrong quickly, but so far since we did the oil change and they tried to tighten everything up the best they could, told them, I said I'll be back in about 2 months. I said, if you see me in the parking lot every day, something went wrong. And they're like, no, it's okay. Come, even if you gotta be towed, tow it back to where you were when you broke down the last time. So they gave me permission to come back and stay there if anything hits the fan sooner than I can get the money. So that's that. But it's getting very warm. It's crazy. Who the hell gets $185 an hour? That's insane. 140, 185? It's almost $200 an hour for labor in the state of Florida. The cheapest I can find is 120. And that's a mom and pop guy with no guarantee. Now, I got a guy willing to rip the engine apart. I better hope it's a nice day because I'm going to be sitting on his front lawn. Or sitting there watching him fix the car all day in his backyard, because where the hell am I going to go? That's the other thing, It's easier to sit in the air conditioning because by that time it's going to be hot. I won't be able to be sitting outside once it's 85, 90 degrees. By the time I can do that. So I figure if I can put $200 away, at least save the gas money every month. Hey, Melissa! So, yeah, I don't know, because I have to leave, I have to use my whole check to pay for it, which is fine, but I gotta figure out, food 1 month, I have to pay the car insurance, I won't, I'll let the phone go. They usually, when you don't pay the bill, they give you till the 17th, so I only have to go for maybe 12 days without the phone, but then I gotta make a double payment the next month after that. That's why I said it took me from July to September to dig myself out of the hole for fixing the radiator to catch up where my check was my check and I wasn't making double payments on stuff, right? And then October came and they cut my freaking card off and no cash access. Surprise! And I still can't get an answer as to when they're going to end that. One lady says that she's worried it won't be until everyone is done. I said, so they're not going to turn us on one at a time after we go through you guys digging to make sure I am who I am and have what I got, and then now 6 months to look through every single Medicaid thing. This is nuts. They actually wanted to go back to 2002 when I first got on. I'm like, good, go ahead. Have fun with that. But that could take step. My doctor said just that alone of what they want to look at the medical reports for what Medicaid paid over the last 24 years. He said that's a minimum 7 months just going through that paperwork. He said, hell, it would take me 4 months to pull it all out and another 3 to 4 months to read through it. He said, if someone's doing this by hand, oh, crap. That sucks. Yeah, I know. I don't know how Western Union works. That's the only thing we have down here. Walmart to Walmart, I don't do that anymore. They pulled some freaky crap. So I wouldn't trust anything other than Western Union. And I don't even know if they cut that off too. You know? We're fighting so much. You know, I have absolutely no idea. Oh. I tried leaving another message with someone. I left someone a message to try to look into, did they not realize by cutting off access to the debit card that you can't put gas in your car? Now, how are you supposed to work for your food stamps as of this week? Okay, the first Monday in February, you had to start going to work for your food stamps. I said, how are people going to work for the food stamps when they can't put gas in the car? How are you supposed to pick up the kids from school if you don't have buses? We didn't have buses in the city. Ain't no school buses in the city. We had to walk back and forth to school, or our parents drove us. That was it. The only people who had buses were the little kids, grammar school. That was it. Once you hit 6th grade, you better learn how to walk. So up to 5th grade were the only kids that got taken to school. Everybody else had to walk. But how are the people supposed to do that in half the country? I don't get it. So we'll see what happens. I was just hoping. So this lady said that it probably be when all 42 million people get done getting checked out. She goes, I might think so, yes. Because they didn't say nothing about no case-by-case basis, like restoring things back to normal. And they keep trying, and they're not getting answers. So I had a bunch of people made some phone calls, and nobody will tell them when the end is going or how things are going to happen. And I said, this is freaking stupid already. It really is. Okay, I'm catching up with this. I'm on a tirade. I can't believe this crap. It's freaking stupid already. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm worried they're gonna leave it like this for a while. Trial run. You know? What the hell? Eventually I'm running out of cash for the gas. I left a message with the sheriff's office and told them, you come across me, this is why. Someone calls you on me, now this way you know ahead of time. Once you come up and find me in the parking lot, I ran out of money. It's nothing I can do. It's trying not to even think about it. I said, my blood pressure is 225. I'm supposed to be remaining calm. Okay? I can't even get an appointment with a heart doctor. They told me to call back in July to see if it was a possibility that he was taking any new patients, and then I probably wouldn't get an appointment till sometime in August or September. This was last month. I said, yeah, but I've run out of pills. I can't get any more. They won't let the primary care renew my nitro. And she's like, oh. She goes, well, we're not taking any new patients till after July. And I was like, we can't even take you And I was like, okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Like, uh-huh. Besides the fact, how am I supposed to go to the freaking doctor? I give up. I really do. I got no letters in the mail. I'm still waiting on my new insurance card. See if that, I gotta wait till tomorrow morning. Get the mail for the last couple of days because I can't even like drive back and forth to go pick up my mail. I gotta wait until I gotta go that way and then stop in and do everything that's near each other and then go back where I was. I can't even just like go get some. What's worst of all is that when you run out of something like the oil, I couldn't just go to AutoZone and pick up the oil for the car. I had to make a Walmart pickup. Thank God they brought it out with the food, but I can't keep ordering crap at Walmart you know what I mean? You run out of one thing, now I'm spending 20 just to get something to come out the door for me. And there's no room. Oh, that's what I was going to show you. And I still don't know who sent this. So, this is, you put your cell phone in the hole right here. Woohoo. Is this thing freaking cute or what? And it's got little holes, vent so it doesn't get hot. And yeah, it has a hole to plug it in, but my phone is too big and I tried feeding the cord in, and once I plug it in, it takes up like that much room and it doesn't fit. So you need a short phone if you want to plug it in while you're watching. It's just a hole. But this works excellent. The whole screen fills up. Like it's the size of my tablet. I was like, thank you very much. It is the bomb. Because I had one that it was flat, and then the magnifying thing lifts up, pulls out, and just lifts up. It's just sitting in front of it. Real cheapo one for like $6. Oh my God, this blows it away. And it makes, and it's got a hole here for the sound. So your phone is in here echoing. You don't even have to turn it up that loud. So if you got a really loud phone, you can turn the volume down. And the darker you have the brightness, the better. The better. I love it. I just sit it right on my lap like this, watching TV all night, because all I got left is the phone. My stupid tablet got hijacked in a parking lot that had 5G internet all over it, and decided to download an update by itself, and it got screwed. It's stuck in an endless loop. It never finished. Something went wrong in the middle of it doing it by itself. Forget it. Forget it. Hey, Yay. How's it going? But yeah, that thing is pretty cool. And let me see. Get the crap out of the way here. I'll show you the little cooler I got. So while I have the gas money, I'm trying to replace stuff that I need, because once they turn that car back on, you know, that gas is going in the car. So while I'm trying to make lemons out of lemonade here. You know what I mean? So they had this guy, my fridge freezer, like Albi Cool thing, that went. It got fried at the campground. Their electricity sucks in the campgrounds. Let me tell you. Never plug into campground electric ever again. So I got this guy. It's big. That's the name. Hold on, there's more. Like that. But look the size it is. It's about 20 inches tall. I keep the paper towel. This sucker, it holds a 10-pound bag of ice with food in it. I used to put half a 5-pound bag in that other one, and I could barely fit the rest in. I would always be stuck with half a bag of ice, like every day. This is a 10-pound bag in here. And it blows the air around there, comes out over here. It's like a glorified swamp cooler, and it also has a warm setting. So what we're doing with this is, hold on, gotta get it closed. I keep the paper towel across so it doesn't make condensation in the fan. The paper towel catches that. Bam. And it locks. There we go. The sucker is huge. It's big. But it's lightweight. The whole thing only weighs like 5 pounds when there's nothing in it. And it runs on the cigarette plug, which sucks because they always fall out. And it took the same amount running it on the house plug. So that's what we do. I have it plugged in with this. It takes 45 watts. Takes roughly 10% per hour on the 700-watt battery. So that's what that's designated for. So at least if I can extend the bags of ice. And that was Walmart. Everything's on clearance sale. This is all the stuff from Christmas and last summer. And these are nice. My uncle, the Navy captain, of course, had like 5 freaking boats. So every one of his boats had one of these plug-in cigarette lighter cooler things. So I said, yes, at least if I can keep the ice cold during the hottest part of the day, at night when it's 70 degrees, it won't melt so fast, you know? So I was able to, while it was still in the 75-degree range, I got 1 bag of ice to last 3 days. Because otherwise, if you gotta buy a bag of ice a day in the summer, that's $80 just for the ice. It's ridiculous. But I love it. The other one, that cooler, refrigerator, freezer one that everybody's got, it's gray with a black little, it's a rectangle of gray, the Albi Cool with the little black side with the thermostat thing. That thing blew out at the trailer park. Something went crazy. It never worked right since the last time I had a campground spot. It just got frozen and stuck on 38 degrees. And the compressor kept turning off. Now, if it was trying to make it 38 degrees, the compressor should have never turned off. So it was coming on, coming off, coming on, coming off, on, off, on. It wouldn't stay on for more than 5 minutes, so the food kept getting too hot in it. I couldn't use it anymore. So, yes, I have solar on the roof. 200 watts. 3 if I hook them. When I hook them all up together, but I love that thing because I can move it anywhere I want. It's like 16 by 13, and it says 17 high, but that's a lot taller than 17. Let's say 20 inches high. But it's tiny little cooler guy, nice and tall, rectangle. That's what I wanted. Oof. I cut that in half, and I picked it up and moved it full of water the other day. So, especially with the handle, you can move it around. That other one, you could only get your fingertips. They have 2 handles on the side of that Albi Cool thing. It weighs 65 pounds with nothing in it. The compressor in that stupid thing. Once you put the food in, you're over 100 pounds. Or right at 100 pounds with ice and food or just anything in it. It's nuts. But it's been good. I like it, and the fan is quiet. Freaking spam. Every time the spam people call, I pick up. I said, I'm a lawyer. This better be good. Click. They hang up so fast. I said, I think you made a mistake. Are you in need of a lawyer? Click. I like messing with them. Sometimes I answer the phone. Department of Continental Congress, may I help you? They click. Governor DeSantis' office, how may I help you? Click. I scared the shit out of them. FBI tip line, can I help you? Click. They're gonna mess with me every 5 minutes of the day. I'm gonna have fun back. I got your number. And sometimes I'll call back. And they said, oh, it worked. So I can actually call you back. Click. Try calling those jerks back. They already have your number. So I have fun messing with the spam call people all day. But, yeah. So, I've been throwing crap out and getting rid of stuff. On the other thing, I had told that person, I said, besides, you can't get gas, can't fix your car, can't do laundry. I just said, just think of all the things that you cannot prepay for. And add that to the list. We thought of like 3 more things I didn't even think of the other day. There's like 15 things you can't do or buy. But they got pissy over the gym membership. They're still declining that. I told them, well, hey, not my fault. I didn't cut my card off. I'm trying to pay you. So I told them just to cancel it. Told them what happened. I said, you know, I don't want to hear nothing about no fees or nothing. Don't even think about it. You got a problem? Tell them about it. Me either. It's been a freaking miracle. This is all previous training from freaking Superstorm Sandy. At least during September 11th, we had electricity. We had no phones, no TV, no cable. That was fine, but at least we had electric. 2.5 years living in New Jersey with no electricity, running water. Oof. I was like, now you all know what it's like to live in Florida with your relatives. But yeah, this has been a trip. I'd rather be here sweating my ass off than up there. Oof. They've gone through a hell of a winter. It was getting too cold up there. And a little too dangerous before I left. They were just propping cars up in the middle of the night on egg crates, you know, milk crates, and stealing tires. We would come out in the morning, there'd be like 5 cars in a row missing tires, all up on crates. I said, well, if we could track those milk crates down to what store they came from, because freaking obviously it's someone who works for the store who's got endless supply of food crates, you freaking morons. Oh, so stupid. And the cop looked at me, it was a friend of mine. I said, duh. He said, oh, shit. I said, trace back where they came from and just fucking wait. Just find the store that you see these in the back of. Don't even ask inside the store because there's somebody who works there, dummy. Just find the store. This is local, very local. And they did, and finally the cops on their own time drove around and talked to the other cops in the neighboring city and said, well, you know, we're looking, gave them one. Everybody got one. They had them in the back of the cop cars going around from store to store trying to match these plastic crates that the food come in. Hey, Fa, how's it going? But, yeah, it was getting a little wacky. But we got a lot of activity in the area. And then every time somebody does something stupid, now they're checking everybody's YouTube videos and looking for a channel now. And I think that's what it is. We had a teacher was a creeper, and they caught him, finally. Then there was another guy, slit the throat of a 13-year-old kid. He survived. And they were looking for him because there was somebody else. It's been busy. It's been very busy lately. And it didn't happen here. It happened in other areas. They just happened to be running away, coming in this direction. That's why I keep moving around. Because you stay in one place for too long, you gotta watch the local news. And see what's happening around you. Not too much. Just hanging out in the parking lot. I'm gonna be parking lotting in a while. My, what is it again? My valve gasket is leaking. So that's the next upcoming drama. That'll probably be the first week of May. And it's funny, my dad had the same problem. He got hit, and that's what happened with mine. Someone hit the front, backed into me real hard, smashed, cracked my radiator, didn't leave a message. So I fixed it myself. I didn't put any claim in. I don't need my insurance getting any higher. It's already $180. And I'm wondering if the guy hitting me in the front was enough to crack the radiator and leave an impression of his trailer hitch. In my plastic bumper, his trailer hitch had a raised emblem on it, and it just indented into the front of my bumper. My Ram got branded by a Longhorn steer. That'd be Texas A&M, by the way. I said, well, at least it's one of my favorite football teams. It could be worse. It could be one I hate. But it's just funny that his Longhorn steer branded my Ram. They probably have an AI app for that where you can talk back and forth. Rosetta Stone has a very good language program. I had that. Richard used to tease me. You guys don't speak English where your family comes from. I said, no, we don't. We speak Welsh. They don't speak English in Wales, American English like. And if it is, it's British English. You don't know what the hell they're saying anyway. So I went out and I got the subscription to learn how to speak Welsh. And it's a complicated language, very complicated language. It's like learning German. Jesus, it was hard in the beginning until I got it down. But he was goofing on me. He said, yeah, I might have been born here, but at least I still speak English and Spanish. I said, well, at least I learned English. Who the hell needs Welsh? I'm not going back there. But the Rosetta Stone program's very good. But those programs are good. They got a lot of apps. Oh, the hell is this? Oh. But yeah, not too much going on. So I had a lot of time on my hands, being on call all night long. And some days I'd be on call from 4 in the afternoon until 8 o'clock in the morning every day. I had plenty of time to learn my own language. My mother laughed. she could understand it, but had problems speaking it back. She said, her parents and her grandparents spoke Welsh. So she said, I remember it from when I was a child, but by the time we got to high school, everybody spoke English because they were in the military, but she remembers it at home. But oh, so what else has anybody got plans for the weekend? We were kind of hoping everybody was going home after the Daytona race. Oh my God, these people. Every time I do this, it's because someone's calling on the spam things. No, I don't leave the United States. I left 4 times, and 4 times I wish I never did. Except for Canada. And I cried all the way home. Back here. That's the only place I leave here for. I didn't like being in other countries. Especially ones that aren't a democracy. And I went there not knowing. I don't want to say which one because I don't start no freaking shit. But I thought they were, like America, because a lot of Americans go to this one particular place all the freaking time. Yeah, okay. Hell no. Hell no. I couldn't wait till we got the hell out of there. I was a nervous wreck. I'll tell you that. I should have listened. A friend of my mother's had went in the 70s, but I figured that was the 70s. There was war and stuff going on, Oh my God. When you're standing there haggling over something at a flea market and 5 tanks roll like right behind you through the freaking flea market, that's another story. With a guy on the turret with a gun pointed at you. Now, I had enough of that. So I decided then that was my last trip off this continent. Nope, nope, nope. So the only other place I was going to was Canada. Rich had never been north. He'd never been to Canada. So I wanted to take him and show him around. He was originally a flesher, a tanner. He made furs for a living for the rich and the assholes. And Antonovich. I said, I'm sure there's plenty of jobs up in Canada for that one. He said, yeah, but the entire country up there knows how to do it. They do it themselves. They don't need me up there. Oh, Lord. Yeah, it's starting to get a little humid. The warmer right now. It is. Just keeping an eye. It's a busy lunch hour. Busy lunch hour. So, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something else I was going to tell you guys about. I really wanted to check this out and see if it was working. She's doing good. Much better. Much better. Everybody got to stop and look. It's like it's Florida. It's 86. Wait, what is it right now? Let me check the temperature. Hold on. Because the one on the phone doesn't tell the true story. Oh. 83 degrees. But there's a nice wind. Oh. Like I said, after I get off, let's go. I'm pouring this entire bottle over my head. Got my screens on. Oh, wait, can I still open this one? Yes. Okay. Oh, see if I can get back here. Also, I gotta fix part of my floor. Oh, there it is. Oh. And it's getting cloudy. It was so sunny this morning. I actually got everything charged. I've been up since like 3:30 this morning. It's like crazy, crazy stuff. Oof. It was like 3 a.m. Fire trucks going by because everything's on fire. We had 5 fires going on at once. And the other day we had like 2 or 3. When I was trying to get on last week, I realized what the problem was. We had 7 accidents from 7 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. I'm not joking. All within each other. Right near each other. And one was kind of about a half hour, 45 minutes away. But a couple of the people involved in the accidents decided to take off. So they must have been chasing them in helicopters. But I don't know what that has to do with turning off YouTube. I don't get it. I don't. But 7 accidents. 2 people were walking in the street, got run over. One lady got run over crossing the street over in between Daytona and what the hell's that? Ormond Beach. A guy was standing on the sidewalk. Another guy came by. It was like 3 in the afternoon. Probably had a nice lunch and a couple of beers. Ran off the road and ran the guy over, and then he proceeded to take off and he killed them. So all 7 accidents were fatalities. 2 kids on e-bikes got run over. Both of them died. It's been crazy down here. It's insane. They gotta stop opening the bars up at 10 a.m. and make it 12 or 11, at least 11:30. At least in Jersey, we didn't sell booze before noon. You had to wait till 11:30 to buy a beer, and then you couldn't buy liquor, wine, or regular liquor, shot liquor, say, until 12:01 p.m. But it was crazy. We just had this morning a hit and run on 95. I forget where that was. That was another one between, say, Cocoa Beach and Daytona. 4 o'clock in the morning, no one on the road. I-95 is dead at that hour. Completely empty. Empty. Hit and run, the guy died. Then we had helicopters everywhere going north, chasing the guy down. That road is crazy. I stopped driving on that years ago. Last trip down before my mom died, like 2010. That was the last time I ever drove on 95 again. And now we got too many people. Everybody's using 95 to get where they're going, even just to go from one town to another. Instead of leaving it for tourists and people traveling long distance, you got local people using I-95 to get from one town to another, because a 10-minute ride is now taking you a half an hour. Like, our population tripled, and still all the houses are empty. Yeah, that many people living in your car. Plus all of us out here on the road just driving back and forth all day long. It's madness. I only drive 2 different hours of the day. Today I had to make an exception. But it was kind of still in my time frame. I only drive when no one's on the road. 5:30 in the morning, or 8:30 at night. That's it. My whole life revolves around those 2 hours of the day. Otherwise, I'm just sitting wherever I can find a place. Because we had some creeps coming through for a little while. So we had to stay out of the parks, and we still do. They put warnings out to all of us, Floridians, and I thought they put it to the general public too. I'm not sure, to stay out of the national forest. Do not go to the free campgrounds, and no state parks for a while. That killed them to say that, because you are not safe. Not safe. The bodies were starting to pile up. They just found some guy who was missing from Monday last week in the woods about half a mile from the store he walked to. Like guy went to 7-Eleven, never came home. They found him a half a mile down the road in the weeds, the woods behind a strip mall. Someone walking their dog found him. I don't know why you'd be walking through bushes and weeds and trees in Florida with grass up to your armpits, walking your dog. Either A, you're doing something wrong, or B, you're the stupidest person I've ever met in my life. Yeah, I used to have to take, up in Jersey, now US 1 in Florida and I-95, I believe, are tied for first place, but US 1 for the last 5 years in a row was the most dangerous road in America, most deadliest. That used to be Route 80 in New Jersey. I used to have to take that all the time. Hated that road. It's a beautiful mountain road, but there's so many twists and turns, and it's very steep. Going up and coming down the huge mountain, going up to upstate New York. Wow. And it's a 4-lane highway in each direction. That's a lot of cars, especially in the winter, but more in the summer though. But I've never seen anything like this. And the roads that these accidents happened on were like 35, 25 miles an hour, nothing over 40. Nothing over 40. Jesus. With these e-bikes, these people getting hit left and right. And everybody's starting to get angry. And then we got people riding. So a guy was riding a scooter. The thing only does 25 miles an hour. He's in a 45. Number one, it's against the law for him to be there. He's too short. He was only the height of someone sitting in an electric wheelchair. You got these big pickup trucks. You kidding me? I almost wouldn't see him because this thing is so high up in the air. This is the same height as a regular pickup truck. It's just a minivan on the back. I have trouble seeing in front and down. I can't imagine anybody in a jacked up truck because it floods here all the time. You run right over them. You blink, look down, look out the window, see if anyone's coming. You're gonna run. Somebody would have ran that kid over last night. I couldn't believe he was in the middle of the road. On the one that has one of the most accidents every single day. We had 5 accidents in 3 hours the other day. 5 accidents in 3 hours. That's nuts. That's because everybody's watching this. Worst thing of all was putting a tablet in the dashboard. Now you got something to play with all day long while you're driving. That's why they changed all the rules. And you think people would stop? No. Nope. Yeah, I know that 81. Just watching. That guy was parked over here for a while. What the hell is this? Oh, it's a lady. Well, I think it is. Putting the hair in a ponytail. Could be anybody. Oh no, it's a woman. Gotta keep an eye. Everybody keeps like pulling in around me. It's like there's a million parking spots. The place is empty. It's like, well, this must be the van life section. Is everybody living in the car section? Yeah, come on over. It's like a giant pajama party at night. Everybody in? You in your spots? You always see the same people night after night after night after night. Keep running into the same people over and over again. We just kind of do one of these. Hey, what's up? Give it a nod. But, yeah. But the park got weird for a while. Had some guy trying to break into vans, just standing there like 6 feet away waiting for you to leave. That's how obvious the guy was. So it was like, well, that place is out and that park's out and we're running out of parks. And the other place is a little too far for me to go right now. I don't want to go by the river and get stuck there. God forbid something happens to the car. I can't be stupid. And I gotta back in to every parking space now, just in case. They can't tow you backwards. Not this one. They can't tow it backwards. Even on a flatbed, it's gotta go engine first. But I'm trying to think. Something else. Damn, I forgot what it was. Of course, I remember later. I was trying to save up stuff to tell you about. But just the weather for now. I'm waiting to see if the gardenias are coming out. There probably will be. I bet we get a couple of little buds on the hibiscus and the what's this? And oh yeah, that was it. Mosquitoes. Woke up to the first mosquito. It's been so warm for almost a week now. They woke up. Happy days. And oh yeah, my bee. See that? I was sitting in the back. I had my hand on the bed. I forgot what I was doing. I came forward to get something. He was sitting right here on top of my finger. I didn't even feel him. I have no feeling in my fingers. So I came forward, did whatever I was doing, and came back. So I did all that motion. He never once touched me. I'll tell you when I got bit, it was my fault. I came back, I went to lay down, and I went like this, and I squished my hand under my face. I squished him between my fingers, and he stung me. So the whole time I was running around here doing stuff, he was on my finger. I didn't even notice him because I had my ring on. And he never once bit me. That's the one that kept trying to sit on my shoulder all day. He was driving me nuts that day. Would not leave me alone. But yeah, he got pissed. I felt bad. He's dead now, dummy. I felt bad. I crushed him. I put him outside in the grass. Said, sorry, bro. I didn't know you were there. But I couldn't believe he did all that and never once bit me, touched me. One of them was sitting on top of my headband, just riding around all morning. I didn't even notice. My friend saw it. She goes, what's up there? And I was like, oh shit, I think it's a bee. It's like the frogs. Frogs will do that to you down there. They love people. I used to have a frog every day. I would walk outside. He just sitting there right by the door waiting for me to walk out of the trailer. Wham! Right on the top of my foot. Riding along. I would walk around the house doing stuff outside all day. And he'd just sit there. And I was just looking at him, looking at me like, dude, get off my mother. But he never bothered them. He was a good boy. He was a good boy. He used to sit outside and sit under the umbrella while I was watching my tablet, doing stuff in the backyard, just watching a movie with Mouse. I used to put Star Trek on. Mouse liked the music and the theme songs and the noises from Star Trek. So he would put his head right up on the speaker on the laptop and listen and sleep. Sit there with his eyes closed with Star Trek going on, the movies, you know. So I turned around, I went into the shed, I came back. Mouse was sleeping with his head on the keyboard, and the frog is sitting by the little mouse thing, you know, the rolly ball thing on the laptop. And I come out, I was like, I couldn't even get a picture of it. I wish I did. I had a picture of the lizards drinking out of a soda cap. They were funny. They used to hang out and sit on top of the laptop because it was nice and hot. Crazy jerks. And we saw one lizard. Poor dude. I couldn't get out to get him. There was too much traffic, but everybody who went by pointed out the window. So everybody who passed them pointed down. He was enormous. His body like this big. He must have been about 2.5 feet. The tail alone had to be almost 3 feet long, but he had big feet. I was like, I really don't want this guy waking up in my dashboard pissed off at me. Yeah. I was like, no, 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 no. So someone took him because I came back later and he was gone. So someone got the traffic to completely stop and got out and got him. I should grab a couple and throw them in the dashboard. They could be a pet. I gotta find one that eats vegetables. I don't want no bug-eating pets. But that's not mad. So this morning I woke up about, like I said, like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Was a mosquito. First I thought it was a bee. I freaked out. I said he brought friends. I was trying to keep them out of the back of the car by the hatch because I have a hole in the back part of the molding I had to take off. It finally broke. I said, crap, if he gets back there. So I got plastic bag sealing off the cab in here. So the only way into that is from outside if I open the hatch. So he was trying to get back there. Another one, I got him out this morning, chased him out the vent window and then closed everything. But get your mosquito spray. I'm hoping they'll all die on Tuesday or Monday night. That would be nice. It's too early for mosquitoes. I don't want to deal with that anymore. Although where I like to stay is normally bug-free. There's too much wind. You got to deal with that crazy wind, 20 miles an hour all day long, or else you get eaten alive. I don't mind the 25-mile-an-hour wind when it's 98 degrees. You get used to it after a while living at the beach. And I pretty much lived there my whole life since I was little. So, yeah. Hudson River, that's the ocean. I live right at the beginning part of it, so it's still the Atlantic Ocean. So, yes, I've lived at the beach my whole life. At least the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, because they're frozen. When do they wake up? In July. When does it start getting hot up there? When do you get the 80s up there? I can't remember because I was there in August and it was cold already. So I was going to have fun going swimming. My girl said, no, it's not that kind of summer up there. May. Yeah, it was the end. It was like the 3rd week of August. It was cold. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's why I was lucky because he was right here and I went like this to go to sleep. I could have stuck him in my eye. I didn't even know he was there. I didn't know he was there. So all that crap on my hands. I have no feeling in the tops of my hands here from the ash cloud and stuff. It killed the nerves in the top of my hands. I can't even explain why, but because they were covered so long in it that I didn't even feel it. I burned myself and don't even feel it anymore. But it took me a few minutes. Then when I woke up, my finger was like poof, right here. This whole knuckle, I couldn't bend my finger for like the last 3 days. I was like, damn. Now the last 2 days, it's been itching like crazy. So I took the hydrocortisone. It looked like I painted my finger white. I put it nice and thick, wrapped the paper towel around it, and then taped it on and fell asleep like this because I couldn't take the itching anymore. It went from hurting to itching. Damn. The kind of bees affect everybody different depending on what it was. The yellow jackets, the little guys, they're not so bad. I don't have a problem with them. But a couple of years ago, because the bees hang out in the grass, so we're walking with flip-flops in kind of tall grass in Pennsylvania, and I got a bumblebee, but I mean a big one, like that big bumblebee, okay? Went in between my toes with the flip-flops on. That was not fun. That was not fun at all. That was as bad as getting stung by a wasp, which I have. The black ones. I've never been stung, thank God. Please, freaking knock on wood. We got wasps that are like this big. They're insane. But I got stung by a black wasp when I was little here in the chest and by my shoulder. Oof, that hurt like hell. I burned for days. Hey Diane, how's it going? Hello sunshine. Again. And again, I didn't say your name before. Oh yeah. Doing good, Diane. How are you doing? I gave this a shot just to see if it was working today. Kim was nice enough to test it out. So I wanted to try it now. I was gonna wait till tonight, but stuff was screwy this morning. And Elon's fueling his moon rocket. And I'm not sure when that's going off, but the minute they start doing stuff and running tests on and drills on it, we're gonna have no internet. People stop doing stupid stuff. We'd have internet and phone use around here. They dumb it down when they're looking for something or trying to track a phone or something, you know what I mean? Yeah. He likes playing with his rockets, as we can tell. Man does have 13 children. I want to know what that dude pays out in child support a month. That's all I want to know. Damn, he's got to be a billionaire. Pay those bills. Although he's got to have some kind of agreement kind of thing going, you know what I mean? It's not like these are surprise babies, you know, they're planned. So I wonder if he even has to go to child support court. Because they're a bitch in Florida, I'll tell you that. They'll hunt you down with a bloodhound, get that money. That's a honeybee. Oh, yeah, I couldn't imagine stinging in the eye right there, that skin. Oof. It hurts when you pinch yourself, rubbing yourself. I couldn't imagine, damn. But I can bend my finger, but it stopped hurting. I think I'm just immune to them from walking on them and stepping on them as a kid. Oh, did he? Well, I figured it's prearranged. It's not like someone had to track him down and take him to court for the child support. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's all nice and tidy paperwork before the baby's even conceived. You know? He's making deals with the baby mamas. They know what the deal is. You know? They know that there ain't no wedding ring in the future. But to each his own. You know? I'm sure the children are well taken care of. But I was just wondering if he did it all himself. I doubt he's going to court for that. Or, just having to comply with that. And I was wondering if he actually lived here. Oh, God. People, stop. Because when I was young, Florida kept telling my mother they couldn't find my father because he's not listed for the child support after they got divorced. And she's like, no, we have our own arrangement. He gives it to his mother and his mother sends it to me, to my mom. And she buys whatever I need above and beyond that. And she said, well, why did you guys go to court over that? She goes, because he's a Delta Force man. She said, yeah, but we couldn't find him in the computer. She said, because he's got a classified identity. You're never going to find him. They kept trying for freaking years to find him. I was like, you're never going to find him. He's going to die, and you're still never going to find him. He's not listed in the yellow pages anywhere, and you don't even have his right social security number. Yeah, I was like, dummies. She says the military's taking care of everything. He makes the payments to the mother, she passes it to me, and then she takes her every week to get her anything she needs. Every other week, my grandma came and took me shopping and stuff, and we would show the lady, would come and say, look, it's taken care of. Leave the man alone. You're never going to get him into court. You can't pull him into court. He can't show up. He doesn't exist. And then they finally let it go for a while. But a couple of years ago, when I had to move my disability from one state to the other, she said, we never found your dad. Did you ever get I said, my father paid every week, every month. I never went without nothing. I needed something. I called grandma. She went and got it. That was it. Everything was cool. Yeah. My mom had because back in the day, there wasn't none of this. There was no email, no cell phones in the 70s, 60s and 70s. And my dad was gone 2.5 years at a time. No phone call, no mail. Navy SEALs don't send mail home. They can't contact you by computer unless they're on a base. My father spent 2.5 years trying to rescue people off an airplane in Lebanon. Okay, those hostages in the 1970s, 80s thing. Okay, that's where my dad was for 2.5 years, trying to get people off that airplane. And he was at the embassy that got attacked. We had the embassy attack and then the hostages in one place to the other. The countries are so close, they deployed my dad for 2.5 years, said, okay, this is it. We don't know when they're coming back. I can't even tell you how long they're going to be gone. And that was it. And all that the guys would come and tell my mother that they're still there. I can't tell you when they're coming back, but they're fine. They're alive. So maybe once a month or every 3 or 6 months, they would come just to let my mother know that everyone in his unit was still alive, but they're still on mission. They're not done. It's getting worse. We're sorry. But it'd probably be another 12 months, 12 months, 12 months, 12 months. Every year, at the end of the year was another year, another year. You know, that's a lot to deal with, you know? And she couldn't take the pressure anymore. That broke her heart, broke his heart too. And they didn't divorce because they didn't love each other. They got divorced because my mother couldn't she didn't have enough money. She had to go to work. We couldn't afford the rent. We're not hearing from him for 2.5 years. We don't know whether he's dead or alive. She couldn't take it anymore. She couldn't. And he understood, kind of, not really, but you know, it was a semi-civil divorce. He understood why she was doing it, and you know, she just couldn't take it anymore, wondering, you know, where he is and what the hell's going on. You know, she used to watch the news and try and figure out where he was, and we could pretty much know exactly where he was going. And the Navy SEALs, you know, those two of them ride, you know, hang out together, work together. So she knew what to look for on the news, but some of that stuff's not on the news until it's over. I understood. I felt bad, you know, but I understood. They were pretty well behaved, those two. But yeah, she still loved him. She still loved him. My mom, the whole time, until the day she died, kept my father's. She had a picture of my father since I was a little girl in a sterling silver heart-shaped frame. That picture sat on her desk till the day she died. From when I was a little kid, never left. She put it right next to her computer, next to her phone, every day, all day in her house, staring at him. She was engaged to my stepfather, and that picture was still in the bookcase. Last time I saw my dad was about 4 years before he died. My mom got very sick. He told me to stay, that he was fine. He lied. They were both dying at the same time. So he didn't want me to know. So I stayed with my mom. And my mom, before she died, told me that, you know, she goes, I never left your father, not because I didn't love him. I couldn't bear being without him anymore. She couldn't take it. She couldn't take it. It was too much. So she said, tell him that I still love him. And I loved him till the day I died. When I saw him, talked to him after she died, and he had told me that he still loved her, and that he had sent a friend to the house. It was about 6 years, it was after 9/11. And I was very surprised that this guy showed up. He was a member of my dad's unit. And I hadn't seen him since I was about maybe 13 years old. Me and his son were like best friends. We always lived next door to each other growing up. We lived together, all 11 families. We lived together in the same little apartment buildings. So we were a family. You know, it wasn't that they lived on another base and they lived over there. No, we lived in the same little two apartment buildings, 11 families. So uh, he showed up out of the blue. And I was like, damn, maybe he's sick and he's dying and he just, how he found my mom, you know? Helps to be hooked up with the CIA sometimes. So he went, my dad was a general, 2 stars in the end. And so he found my mom's phone number. She would change it and he called the next, she would change her phone number and the next day he would call. And he said, why do you keep changing the number? I love you, bye. And hung up the phone when they first got separated. But he came and he was pleading my dad's case. He said he's very sick and he knows you're sick. And he wanted to come back so they could die together. But my dad had ended up marrying somebody who was the wife of a friend of theirs. And it kind of broke my mom's heart. That it's not that he got remarried, it was the fact that he married this woman. So that hurt her, and she said no. And then when I had seen him right after that, and he said, if she take me back tomorrow, I walk to New Jersey just to prove how much I love her. And I'm sorry. I married Betty. That was it. It was a rebound thing, you know. Just happened. That he didn't love her. That didn't quite make the difference, but that's, it's a hard life. It's a hard life. I don't know how she lived with my stepdad, the cop, not, listening to gunshots out the window every freaking night. Every night, gunfire, 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 not knowing whether he was coming home at midnight. I said, you went from one to the other. She goes, well, at least I could see this one. He could see. He's not gone 2 years, 3 years at a time. And those long deployments, they suck. They suck. They really do. I don't know how they do that. I don't know. You can be on a 3-year mission out on a ship, especially the Navy. Damn, they're gone for long periods of time. They're gone longer than the, say, Army dudes. I don't know. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I dated someone who was a fellow first responder. That didn't last long. That did not last long. About 2 years. Then I was foolish enough to do it again. A couple of years later, I dated a fireman. He lived about an hour from me. So I figured that was a good buffer zone. I couldn't hear the radio going off every 10 minutes, That did I couldn't do that either. I couldn't. I couldn't. It's like, it's bad enough when shit hits the fan, I might die. But you going to work every single day, I realized I understood why my mom did what she did. That's hard to love someone that you don't know is coming home from work. Or what kind of shape they're gonna come in, Yeah. And that's tough too, when everybody's in the military. Yeah. It's a strange life. As an adult, as a kid, it's rough. It's really, really rough. My uncle, the Irishman, calls that hard love. Which is like, what does that mean? I said, when you love someone that might not come home from work. Or someone in the military. You never know. You never know, but I don't know how she dealt with listening to gunshots going off out 2 blocks away, wondering if that was my stepfather either getting shot or getting shot at. And yeah, that happened every day in Jersey in the 80s. It was like the freaking Wild West. It was insane. People lost their minds. Oh, wow. Yes, I remember when y'all showed up. That was very nice of you. Thank you. We were so happy. I was wondering if you guys were coming. Not that you didn't want to, but the governments, no one wanted to get involved in Afghanistan in any way. It was like we were kind of on our own over there. It's like, Italians, gotta go. Oh, you're going there? Oh, no, we already been there. We're out of there. Bye. Everybody just freaking walked away. Just walked away. Oh, damn. Yeah. I said, we don't want to be, you're hitting the beehive now. We're out of here. Said, didn't you all see Lawrence of Arabia? We're tired of that shit over there. Just leave them there. Don't get involved. What we should have did. Should have just left everybody where they were. Wouldn't hurt nobody outside. Oh, God. Worst thing you can do sometimes is try to help. Yes, she is. So am I. Half. On my father's side. Yeah, I know. Well, so did we in the beginning. Because I'll tell you, when my dad was there in the 80s, okay, he was in Lebanon, and it was our Iranian embassy that got attacked right at the same time. That was like 78 through 82. So my dad was gone from 1978. Let's put it this way. My father left when I was 10 and came back I was 13 because of the way my birthday fell. He left in the middle of the year when I was 10 and came back 2 weeks before Thanksgiving when I had just turned 13 from the winter. Nothing. Not a peep. Nothing. Shit. But my dad never had the tan. Never had the tan. A lighter color green. He had dark green fatigues and a lighter green, like one for the winter and one for the summer foliage, for spring where it's more yellow and lighter colors, and then in the summer all the leaves get real dark. That's all I remember, and it's blue. He had blue later on. Camo. Because he was working with everybody then. Because he was still just doing the Marine thing. A Ranger, the paratrooper, airborne stuff. But I never remember that. I don't think we got that until we first, probably the 83, after he was done. And we realized we were going to hang out in the desert for a while. Well, he won't now because of Delta Force. A lot of Delta Force Navy SEAL, and they kind of they change their colors up, so who the hell knows? He had every beret there was, every single color except for white. Except for white. That's how many times he changed what he was doing over the years. He had every single color beret. When I went through his box when I was in high school, he kept his uniforms and stuff at his mother's house because he was always flying in and out of JFK Airport, so he just left his stuff there. So whoever he was working with, sometimes they would send him to go work with the SEALs. Sometimes the SEALs came to work with the Marines, and then he became Delta Force, and I don't even know what the hell he was. Plus, my father was an F-9F fighter pilot. That's a little tiny jet that could fly about 3 feet above the ground and drop a bomb. They're smaller than our original jets, lighter weight, so they could fly faster and a little farther than the what was it, F-12s at the time. Remember, my dad died, he was, 70s. He's been active duty since 55. So he was one of the first. He had the Black Panther tattoo. And we were sitting at dinner, and I don't know if Richard he might not ever seen that. My father used to keep his sleeves rolled here. So he had his knife, his Marine sword on one forearm, and the right arm had that, the left arm had a big Black Panther on. And I saw, of course, Mr. Boy, his family was in the Navy too, Richard's, and he looked, he said, "You're a Black Panther?" I thought he was gonna pass out. And he said, "Yep, first one, first group, first Delta Force, first F9F pilot." So they must have been made for the Delta Force group, is what I'm assuming, since they were the first of both, the first Delta Force group and the first group of F fighter pilots. But when you look up Black Panther pilots, it shows you African American men. It doesn't explain the history of it. I got it from an Air Force guy who told me about my dad. And I was like, that's what that was. I said, I thought it was for something else. I said, I knew he was learning how to fly, but they kept a lot from me because I was little then. I was only, 6, 7 years old. When as I got older, you get a little more, because they knew I'd be sitting there watching the news every night trying to figure out where the hell my father was in the world. But, yeah, I thought Richie was going to go, "Ah!" like he just saw Elvis Presley or something. He said, "You really are a pirate. You can do it all, dude. You halo jump, freaking airborne. Now you're a pilot, dude. Damn, what can't you do?" He said, "Nothing." Oh, I almost choked. He said, "There's nothing I can't do, or nothing I haven't tried either." Like that. He says, "I believe it." He said, "My hero, man. Thank you. Thank you. That's what a ride, man." He said, "Yeah, it's been a ride." Yeah, girl. He was like, ah! He was almost giggling. Oh, Christ. Made me laugh. My father laughed. It made him feel good. He smiled. He said he got a kick out of that, right? I said, "Yeah, he did." He said, "You never told him?" I said, "No." No, I never said anything. I didn't bring it up. I said, I don't like talking about the Navy stuff because of the other relatives in his family, So, that's that. You see, even though they were in the military, we were on opposite sides of the military. Just leave it at that. So we never really brought a lot of it up. And I was afraid he was going to brag, and I didn't want to start a war between the Navy, the Marines, and, Special Forces at the dinner table, especially on holidays. So we just left all that out. But I always look sometimes to see if I could find pictures of him in that. I remember the jumpsuit, but not the helmet. Because I don't think they brought the helmets home with them. I think those always stayed. Just the clothes came and went. He never came home with his, his regular helmet. The army one. No helmets. The only helmet I ever saw my father wear was his motorcycle helmet. He never brought all that home. Everything stayed on base or in his truck. He tried not to bring it into the house, like, you know, keep everything as normal as possible. More neighbors coming or what? Well, thank God everybody's leaving and going back to work. Sounds like a lazy bitch, right? Hey, I worked enough. Worked enough for 2 lifetimes. My scooter. Yeah, some guy had a ProMaster, and it was the long one. And he was stupid enough, he was in Walmart, he put a thing, a shelf on the back. My dad was active duty, 1955 through 86. Like, he kept getting called in on different things, but in the field up until 1984. Ow. Because he came back when he left in 78 for that, you know, the airplane hostage shit and the embassy thing. And he came back right before Thanksgiving. They got done 6 months early, but he didn't stay. The mission ended. And then they came home, and he was leaving again before around my birthday. So he was gone by like the 3rd week of February, and then he was back again like 6 months later. Yeah. So say 55, he went on his first mission. His very first deployment was 1955, and his last one was, say, 85. That's a long freaking time. That's a long time. He did the entire length of the Vietnam War. He was there from day one, first in, last out. He would come and go, but he served the entire freaking war. I have 2 or 3 pictures from over there, and not, you know, one of these kinds of pictures, like standing there doing shit pictures. Bugged me out. That was from before I was born. He was young. Oh my God, he was young. Hey, they gotta eat. What the hell? Don't put down cooking for the army. That's fucking insane. Hey, I did Meals on Wheels. I used to do parties with 500 people. I couldn't imagine what a military chef, what you guys go through in a kitchen over there. Damn. Plus all the trash talk you guys gotta take for what you're handing out. Like it's your fault. You're just opening the cans of food they gave you. You didn't pick it out. I was leftover shit from the Korean War. But I'd like to know what the hell he was doing in 1955. The hell was that? See? Yeah. Are you kidding? Ah. How much crap you had to put up with? Yo, baby. Got something special for me? Come on. I think I'd be afraid to be a good-looking woman in the military. Just outnumbered 100 to 1. You got nerve. Big, big nerve. Yeah, pick and choose. Pick and choose. I thought about leaving and working on a base. You know what I mean? I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do there. But I ended up doing it anyway. Because some idiots tried to blow up the Trade Center in 1993, and that first bombing of the Trade Towers changed my entire life. I had just started. I was going a whole new way. I wasn't doing this shit for a living. Hell no. Absolutely not. I was gonna be state representative and then decide what I was doing from there. Some people stay a state representative. I didn't want to be a senator and a congressman. They're always in freaking trouble. I like what the state representative did. I was doing that at the senior center. There's basically an advocate for the people who live in your state. Oh, that's a good one. Well, you know, you're doing something right if your cooking's been better than her. Honey, they feed me better in the army, bitch. Learn how to cook. Oh, God. What a life. What a freaking life. I don't know. This is what happens when you're good at your job. I did such a good job on that one that they came a year later and asked me to write an evacuation plan. I said, okay. Can you do that? Yep. You sure? Yep. That was so good it came back to bite me in the ass in 2001. Oh, God. I don't know. The part that's scary is that they can make you come back anytime you want. And people don't understand that. You know? They think when you're out, you're out. You're never out. You're there forever. For the rest of your life. That's a lifetime commitment. Lifetime commitment. Especially if you're good at what you do. Freaking nuts. I know. Yeah, and it was his daughter who did it out of 4 sons. Well, we got one grandson as a Marine. One of my brother's sons became a Marine. I have a Marine nephew. But that's it. That's it. Out of 4 boys, the girl became his daughter became a Marine. I think that's why one of them got kind of pissy with me, you know? I mean, never really talked to each other again after that. I think I made him look bad in front of his future wife. Oh, Christ. Yeah, the least one you expected, right? Your freaking daughter became a Marine officer like Daddy. I was proud of it, though. Made me laugh. Made everybody laugh their ass off at that one. Said, out of all your brothers, you joined the Marines. That's nice. The only one of his children to take the Marine oath was me. But yeah, it's an odd life. People don't get it. And you're not normal. You know, you never have a normal childhood. Because you're sitting with your mother watching the news all day waiting the fucking phone ring. You know? I knew everywhere my dad was going. My mom explained it, showed me on the globe. Daddy's here, and then he's going here, and then he'll be back, and then he's going here for a while. Yeah. Very different. You grow up too quick. Too quick. There's no childhood. I mean, it did. I'm not like I didn't play in the snow and make snow angels and freaking stomp around the mud and catching fish and shit. I mean, it's just, you don't. I look at other people crying because they didn't get the sneakers, or they're bitching because they want a fucking ice cream. I'm like, fuck you. I don't care what ice cream you give me. I'll eat it. I just want my dad to come home. You know, I didn't care. You know, I'm over there throwing a temper tantrum because they got strawberries instead of chocolate. I just look at other kids and say, you're stupid. And just get up and walk away. I just couldn't take them. I always hung out with kids who were at least 2 grades older than me. I was 8 years old hanging out with the 16-year-olds because I had nothing in common with the 6-year-olds. I was past all that shit. I graduated Marine boot camp by the age of 5. Are you kidding? We started when I was 4. Took me a year for my father to teach me everything he had. They got like, it was about 14 months straight. He was home for almost 2 straight years. Didn't leave once. And that was it. That was a crash course, I'll tell you that. Teaching me everything. Crazy stuff I don't even want to talk about on here. You know, how to pick up a gun, how to hold a gun. I was 6 years old the first time I pulled the trigger on a gun. Why? Because dad's not home for up to 18 months at a time. Someone needs to know how to freaking shoot. What if the guy's hurting your mom? Someone's hurting your mother. I need you to know how to pick up that gun and shoot that son of a bitch. Try not to hit your mother. You know, practice makes perfect. But yeah, how to protect ourselves when he wasn't home. Every gun was like, oh, safety's on. It says safety on the gun. You don't have time to get the safety off. I've never had a gun in the house, not my whole life, not even when my stepdad, the cop. No safety, no safety. Every gun in my house always had a chambered round. All you gotta do is pick it up, short, point, and pull. Point and pull. Ain't no time for that crap. Yeah, I was on that gabapentin for a while. I forget why they took me off. I think it was my kidneys. I was having some issues. That's when I started finding out things were going wrong. The first thing, besides my heart attack, then it was my first, I had the 2 heart attacks and the stroke, and then then my kidneys right away with that. It hadn't even hit my lungs yet. That mesothelioma is some sneaky shit. Let me tell you. That didn't show up for a long time or give me any problem. It takes 18 years to start before you even find a symptom. And it was right on time. It was 17 years after 9/11 when I started coughing up blood. Like practically to the day. I think they gave that to Matthew too. Man, disability sucks. And then I found out I'm maxed out. That's it. I've reached the limit of disability. No more raises. That means no 3% raise next year. I capped out this year. That kind of made me mad. But I never thought I'd see the day I hit the max on it, though. I didn't think I'd be here this long. That helped me when I first went on it. And for some reason, I don't know what the hell I was taking it for. It might have been my hands. My hands were really bad. And they got damaged with the planes exploding. I put my hands behind my head like this and turned away, and the heat from the explosions, forget it. 2 airplanes back to back. I was there for both airplanes on the phone with governors and senators telling them what I'm looking at. And both planes, I did the exact same thing when they exploded, and I destroyed my hands. Oh shit, yeah, we're getting... Oh crap, because we're about to go dead in a minute. Sorry, Dean. Now, sometimes my hands, I have no feeling. I can't feel hot or cold in them. And then they swell up like crazy arthritis. Like water swelling, and they get hot as hell. They're either burning on fire or they're so cold, it's like I just took them out of a bag of ice. And my feet, same thing. Same thing. I got no feeling in my feet, because what was I wearing that day? I think I was like barefoot in a pair of sandals. So I kind of have the same thing on the hands and the feet. At first I thought it was really because I had frostbite as a kid. My fingers were purple for about almost 8 weeks. Then they became different shades of purple they never reached the black state, but they were dark, dark purple. And then slowly turned pink. But I really thought it was from them, and then when I spoke with the cancer guys who did my DEXA scan, they said, no. Nope, nothing to do with that. I was like, okay. Well, we're about to lose our battery. I don't know, 4 creepy guys in a box truck. We're just staring. I was hoping they were just sorting out their lunch. They look like workmen, road guys. They're trying to widen the roads down here. I said, well, that's what happens when you invite 25 million people to move to the state of Florida. We need bigger roads, jackass. We're finally getting them. And for some reason, and I really hope this didn't break, I got a piece of wood that goes across my stow and go hole down here. It's like a pirate plank. That's what the toilet's on. So it's almost as wide as a hole is across. But for some reason we're wobbling. I'm gonna have to take that apart later. Yeah, we got birds every day. You like birds? Come to Florida. I'll introduce you to the 5-foot-tall prehistoric dinosaur birds that still live here in Florida. Rich said, he said, with all the lizards and the gators and what's the other one? I said crocodiles. He said, you got so many different variations of lizards and iguanas, and they're all freaking lizards. They're probably all from the same alligator family DNA. I said, yeah. I said, what are you worried about? He said, I'm worried freaking Godzilla's gonna come up out of the ocean one day, just like the freaking movies. I said, yeah, could you imagine how big? I said, you see how big these giant gators are. People think they're just little... These guys, some of these guys got legs that are like 2 feet long. They stand 3 feet up in the air and are 15 feet long. They're the size of a car, man. They're huge. They're the width of your coffee table, about 3 feet wide by like 14 feet long. Just the body itself is like 7 foot long. His mouth has got to be 3 feet itself of just this. You could jump in head first. You eat you whole. If you were under 150 pounds, you'd probably climb in one of these guys' mouths. And he wouldn't flinch. You'd fit. If he'd let you just lay there. I said, yeah, I wonder about that too. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? One day, friggin' the Loch Ness Monster comes flying out of the Lake Okeechobee here. It probably lives there. I missed that movie. I have to see where it is. Called Lake Placid. It's about the giant 40-foot alligator up in upstate New York. It swam into one of the rivers from the ocean into a river and came down through the mountains and ended up in a lake. That's an excellent movie, and it's not real cheesy. For a weird movie, has Bridget Fonda in it and Bill Pullman. There's a whole bunch of other actors in this movie. It's free. It is funny. And if you've never seen it, look it up. Betty White, yeah, y'all a bunch of cocksuckers. This is where I tell you to suck my dick if I had one. Oh my God, I was always peeing my pants in the movie theater. We went to go see it in the movies when it first came out. Oh, people were rolling. Nobody can make Betty White, and no one can make people pee their pants laughing like Betty White. You never expect it. She's so tiny and old in this movie. Funny as hell. She had the best part in this movie. I love her. I'm going to look it up, see if I can find it later. I love that movie. I got to get the DVD so I can watch it when I want. But, yeah. I lost all my DVDs. They were in the storage unit. When I think back now, I probably should have paid the ransom money to get my storage unit open, jerks. And they make it just high enough that you don't want to pay it. It's almost $500 for being 24 hours late. I said, that'll teach you not to read that stack of papers you signed, stupid ass. Oh, God. So, let's see, what else? I think that's all. Without getting in trouble for talking about crap on the news. I can't even watch it anymore. I watch one news show. He's a retired Navy SEAL guy who became a newscaster. And he's on Newsmax. He's getting a little crazy right now. But he's funny. I can't believe they let him say the things he says sometimes. I was like, better you than me. And there, speak of the devil. Hey, how's it going? Okay, they're gone. Yeah, I miss the Golden Girls. Nobody has any manners anymore. How about some distance? We're in Florida. We have plenty of room still. We like our personal space. Just saying. Unless you're on the beach. Then everybody just freaking crowds all around you. But we try to be respectful and not encroach on everybody. Too many outsiders. And it's starting to get worse too now. We're just overly, abundantly overpopulated. And there's nowhere for no one to go. There's like, you can't even get a campground site. You gotta make reservations like months in advance, a year in advance. It's insane. There's one park, I've been here now 11 years this year. I have yet to be able to get a reservation in there. 2 years in advance, they're booked up. And every time I try to call to wait for the cancellation, well, there's about 95 people ahead of you on the cancellation list still want me to put you on. I said, no, never mind. Nope. Nope, nope. And you can't even go there for the day. You have to buy a ticket to go to this park. 11 years, still haven't gotten in for a day pass either. I've never been in this park. And it's really nice, too. I've tried every which way getting in there. I can't. You can go down the road from it. And I have to get one of those little plastic kayaks and go to the beach part down here and just kind of just get my boat and show up at the park on the outside. Because it's a beachfront too, so I don't know. Everybody's checking the car. Yeah, your car's overheating because it's 90 degrees, bro, and you just came from Minnesota. Or Wyoming, someplace where it's cold. And it's getting loud again. Damn. I'm glad it's helping. I know a lot of people work good on. That was our first clue that something was really, 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 really wrong, was when that stopped working. And this guy's like, uh-oh. I said, uh-oh, what? He said, this isn't working anymore. I said, yeah. He said, that's not good. I said, okay. I said, well, what do you mean? And next thing you know, we found out I couldn't be put to sleep anymore. But I liked the gabapentin. I was sad when it stopped working. Now I got nothing. I was watching, what the hell was I watching? Oh, I was watching the Glenn Beck thing, and they were doing a commercial for Relief Factor, and someone said something about their that they should have sent it to somebody. I forget what the guy said. He said, yeah. He said, yeah, they never give anything away for free because they're freaking cheap. That stuff's like $200 a bottle. They send you a 3-week supply for $20. How is the 3-week supply only $20 when the bottle that's supposed to last you a month is like $175? That stuff insane. I said, yeah, I said, screw Relief Factor. I said, it would have been nice had they sent a tractor trailer load of that over to the first responders on September 11th. That would have been nice. I think I started laughing. He said, yeah, that would have been nice. I said, I would have really have been grateful for that. Thank you very much. I thought of trying it to see if it was going to work. And then I found out I got bone cancer. And I said, well, I'm glad. I was so grateful I didn't spend the money on it. Yeah. You too. Good to see you again. I've been having so much. We're about to crap out with the battery, but I'm glad to hear from you again. I've been having trouble getting on. Speak of the devil, there goes some tan fatigues. Picking up subway. Yeah, I was on for almost 2 years. And then I started having kidney problems and passing out while I was going pee-pee. And I say, is this normal that I'm fainting on the toilet while I'm going pee? And the doctor's like, no. I was like, just asking. And I says, not from the pills, right? He said, no, I wish it was. He said, I just wish it was, right? No, I had to give up the gabapentin and Prilosec after taking that crap for 30 years, keeping the stomach cancer at bay. But I can say now it's been 8 years since I got off That worked on my stomach. I can't believe in all these years it never came back. It was bad. I had 32 lesions and sores and bleeding. I was coughing up a cup of blood. I had 2 gastric ulcers that burst. And I found out you may only have 9 months to live. I'll let you know in 21 days. That was fun. That was in 95. That was 2 years after the first World Trade Tower bombing. So we were never sure. Big coinky dink that no one in my family had stomach cancer. But breathing in all that crap from that one explosive, I don't know. No one could explain why I got that and that bad and that quickly. I was only 26. He said, I can't believe that you're going to be dead before your 27th birthday. This is insane. And I was like, way to go, Doc. Nice bedside manner. That dude was crying when my test results came back. I thought I was dead. He ran out to go get the FedEx. I beat the FedEx there with the test results. So I'm sitting there in the doctor and we're like this. Come on! And they came, he ran out, got the test results. He's reading them on the way back in the hallway. He opens the door, tears pouring down the man's face. He walks over, he puts his hands on his knees, puts his head in my lap and starts crying. I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna die. He said, thank God, it's negative. And he started crying even more. He said, I didn't know how to tell you were gonna die before your 27th birthday. What the hell? That guy was a wreck. He, and that's what he did for a living too. He was a gastro doctor, but he's extremely good at what he did. Oh no! The dust lady. Wait, a YouTube lady? I saw that go by. Ow. What the hell? Oh, I don't know who that is. I remember seeing something, but I wasn't paying attention. It was too hot yesterday. I'm getting even hotter now. Well, at least it's getting cloudy. Oh, I have her picture. It's a picture of her and a guy standing next to each other. I post it all the time. I'll try to find it. Oh shit, it might have been on my tablet. It's two color. It's a African American couple. They just, because they were standing a foot apart, they just cut her out by herself. If it's an African American woman, she was with a man. They were a couple. They work together in the office. He actually is wearing a blue shirt. That's what I look like. Just like that. So just from that crap touching, like being on me for 4.5 hours before I got to take a shower and just get it off because I had to drive in the car. Imagine driving the car for 4 hours for a 25-minute ride covered in that shit. No towel, no wipies, no bottle of freaking water. Yeah, the picture's by herself. They cropped him out. I'll find it. It's probably on my phone. I'll check it out and put it up and see if that's the one you're talking about. But I saved that one because that's exactly what I look like. I didn't see myself because the mirror in the car, everything was covered in dust like that up to my waist. It just right in all the windows. Ugh. They have a picture of him. It's actually a video. It's not even a photograph. They're speaking with a guy, I forget his name, and I always hated this asshole from ABC News. Their roving reporter. Oh, ooh. I hate this guy. I hated him since the first time I ever saw him on the news. Little jerk. Real, gotta get everybody crazy over nothing guy. And he was getting in trouble with the cops and the firemen because they were following them around. He's like, get away from us. Well, I have to report this. He said, you can report that across the street. You want to be standing here when we move something and find 10 dead people crushed to death over there and put that out on live TV? Get the fuck out of here. Now. He had 5 other cops come and push. He said, dude, come on, what are you doing? Don't do this. We know you. Don't be like that. You know you can't be here while we're finding stuff. That's not fair to the families. You want somebody's 10-year-old kid seeing me walk around with their father's head in my hands because that's all that's freaking left of them? Live on TV? Oh, and then he realized what he was doing and he backed off and he left and just was interviewing the people coming out of the building. You can talk to anybody you want. We don't care. Get out of here. And they drew the line like enough is enough with that dude. But yeah, that was an interview of that couple, those 2 people who worked in the buildings. That was actually a video, and they just took a still shot, and there's a plain picture of him by himself and a plain picture of her, and then one of just the 2 of them together. So they cut that up into photographs. That's how I found it. I think I have the original video of it somewhere. I thought that was the Trump guy for a minute. There's a guy who sells Trump stuff. He's an ex-Marine and retired cop. And no, it's not him. Okay, look like him. So they just made multiple pictures of it, just to put to make more shorts and memes and stuff. They took one video. They made a video. Then they made 3 different pictures out of one still frame. They were one of the first ones out. They had just gotten out of the ash cloud. They were just walking. They were maybe a block away when the towers came down. And they were stuck outside in it, like I was. I turned the corner, bam. I walk right into it, nowhere to go. But forward, walking into it, coming at me. I still yell at myself. If I just made a left-hand turn, I'd be just getting out of prison this year. If I didn't show up. I said that to Richard one day before he died. I said, in 3 years, I'd just be getting out of jail. And I wouldn't have cancer. He said, yeah, once in a while I think of that. I said, do you think I should have? He says, no, it wouldn't have been worth it, I don't think. He said, I know it sucks now, but where the hell were you going to hide? and I really don't think Leavenworth is a really nice place to be, especially as a woman. I said, yeah, that's that's one of the reasons why. I said, if I could just get to the turnpike. I said, screw you people. This is a bit above and beyond, bro. I wrote the plan. I didn't say I was gonna enact the plan. I was like, why am I in charge? He said, because you wrote it. I said, yeah, but that's not part of my job. It is now. I was like, you just got a promotion, like, that you can't refuse. It's the military. You get promoted whether you like that shit or not. I don't think you're allowed to stay where you want to be. Mama said, see, this is what happens when you're good at what you do for a living. Next time they ask if you know how to do something, say no. She used to call me Jack Ryan from the movie. He said, all I did was write a memo and I passed it on like I was supposed to. He said, yep, just like Jack Ryan. He said, all you did was write a freaking plan and look what happened. I said, yeah, I know. So behind, my mom had a picture of the World Trade Towers. She was a photographer. She took it years ago. And everybody always waits for the sun to set at certain times of the year. It sets directly between the towers. So she had one, it's orange. It's almost like a fireball. Looked like orange. It was beautiful color. And she had that picture with the sun. It was a setting sun halfway, directly center of the trade towers. And I had taken the picture out because it was getting old and I wanted to make a copy of it. On the back of that photo, because she had given it to me, was a picture of Harrison Ford in the movie. What the hell was the name of the stupid movie? Patriot Games, right? I'll remember in a minute. I forget which one of those ones it was. So she had a picture of him in the first movie. Oh no, it was Alec Baldwin. Not Harrison Ford, Alec Baldwin. So she had a picture of him standing there with James Earl Jones, which was the senator who was screaming at me on the phone, let me know I'm in charge of all this crap. And then she wrote, I love you, on the top with a smiley face. Oh, she said, Jane, meant to be. I said, shut up. She said, this is what happens when you put shit down on paper. I said, don't ever write it down. I said, hell no, I never did that again. I gave them someone else's name. And Hurricane Sandy came, and that was it. Twice I had to come back from vacation on Florida, once during a blizzard. I actually had to drive home from Florida between two back-to-back blizzards because I had to go to work and there were no planes. I had to drive home. That's how bad it was about to be up there. Then the other time it was some kind of, we were getting worse and worse storms up there, and we were starting to get a lot of tornadoes, and I forget what had happened, and I had to drive back again. After that, I stopped believing in bad weather season. I said, that's it. I'm done with this. I said to him, I said, when we got there with Hurricane Sandy was coming, I had to go back. I was away. And I said, hey, we ain't evacuating anybody. I said, we're just giving people a ride to the nearest high school. He said, yeah, but it's going to be the same shit all over again. So now you're in charge again. I was like, ay. And you did such a good time, a good job the first time out there keeping people calm. Getting them off a boat, washing them off, and shoving them on the bus without no one having a nervous breakdown and freaking out over what's going on. Like a half a mile behind us, buildings falling down. I said, yeah. He said, well, you're going to do that again. We got a freaking Category 5 hurricane coming. You're in charge of all of this over here again. I was like, damn. I said, are we rescuing people out of New York? He said, no, they're going to go up north. He said, we're going to get everybody out of lower Manhattan into up the Hudson River. We can't bring them over because we're going to flood. I was like, yes. We only have to move our people instead of everybody. That was lovely. But it gave us a good, that was good. September 11th was good practice for what happened during that storm. I'll tell you that. Woof. Oh, God, yeah. Corporal for life. That's right. This thing is very slow, my chat. I don't know how it's flowing for you. But We have exactly 2 minutes left on the battery. Let me say goodbye now before I get cut off, and at least we got a good one in this time. We'll try for a nighttime chat after this. Elon shoots off his moon rocket. I gotta see if I can find out when that's happening and get one night stream in before then. But it's been pretty quiet during the day. Wasn't so bad for a daytime live. Usually a lot of buttheads show up talking crap, but it was very good. I will talk to you all later. Have a lovely weekend. Oh, nice music. And I'll see you in a couple of days. Maybe I'll try for Saturday night before it gets too cold. And I need electric for my electric blanket. Okay. Have a great day. Have a good Friday. And maybe we'll try this Saturday night, okay? As long as Elon lets me. And the bad guys stop doing stupid shit on YouTube. They stop slowing it down. I'm buffering every 30 seconds. At least it opened. It wasn't even opening. All I had were little gray screens, and I left it on for almost an hour like that. It just never turned on. I would turn it on, turn it off. YouTube was just gone, gone, gone. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy the little bit of sun until I'm freezing at 28 degrees on Monday night. Ah! All right, have a great day, everybody. Have a good weekend. And we'll shoot for Saturday night, okay? And good to see you all. And I got to get some more hydrocortisone. Look at that. Ah! Damn. Yeah, it's still swollen. Now it's waking up. It's getting itchy because it's like 90 degrees now. I got to go pour some water over my head. I'll see you guys later. See you on Saturday night, okay? If I don't show up, you know why. What's going on over here, okay? Bye, everybody.